problems. It is because students felt they were maltreated, they were not listened to, they were not given opportunities to also discuss their problems. And management also felt that the students were also too loud, they were too defensive and that kind of thing. But you see, there's a concept in marketing where we talk about the service gap. When management feels that they know the expectations of customers, it always leads to a gap, what we call the listening gap. And sometimes when that happens, no matter what you do as a service organization, your customers will not be satisfied. And when they are not satisfied, in the corporate world, they may want to leave. But in the educational field, there will be that kind of student revolt against you. So it is a partnership. Students, lecturers, management, and even parents, and even the corporate world, we are all stakeholders. So nothing prevents us from coming together to have a common discussion to solve a common problem. So once these things are done, I think that our universities are doing well, and I think that once these things are done, we can even improve on the status of our universities in the country.
Edwin, are you an alumnus?
No, not of KNUS, Lagos.
Okay. Yes. The only university in Ghana.
Yeah, thank you very much. Absolutely.
I'm sure Doc disagrees, but we'll get to that.
I was just about to remind you.
Yeah, we went to the only university in Ghana. The rest, Kwame Nkrumah University, and the rest. Yes, but tell me about it. Yes.
Okay, sir. I am extremely happy that the school has been open. The students are going to school. I am particularly happy that the committee is to be set out to find out what went wrong. Often in our country, when things happen, after the storm has died down, we go back to things as usual, and usually we don't solve the problem. The only way we can solve the problem is to listen to all sides, and then for that committee to determine who was at fault and the best way forward. Not necessarily even to point a blame, accusing finger at anyone, but to ensure that this does not happen anymore. I mean, when this happened, people were utterly surprised. They say, why did the students do what they did? Why did they destroy property, etc., etc.? I wasn't too surprised. The reason is this: at our time, at my father's time, students have always been like that. They have always ravaged, canvassed, done all kinds of things. So it is not new with these students. And even when you look at us, adults, when there's a chieftaincy issue, when there's a small issue, look at how we all fight. So it is not peculiar to our students. It is a national character that all of us must work against. If we don't like people taking up to arms, doing the aggressive thing at the least provocation, all of us must look inside ourselves and be a better person. At one time, somebody told me, hey, lawyers are liars. So I asked the person, why do you think lawyers are liars? Are you saying that when we go to the law school, they teach us lying?
To lie.
If not, why would you have that position? What will make a lawyer different from, let's say, a doctor? If a lawyer and a doctor were raised by the same parents, apart from small differences in personality, we got the same upbringing. Generally, we'll be similar people. You get it? It is all a matter of how we perceive ourselves and how generally we decide that we are going to let things get better. So let us all have that perception that going forward, we will do things properly as a people. And then gradually it comes down to everyone, especially to the students who are learning from us. Now, this is not to say that what the students did was right, because it is untenable, it is wrong for you to destroy property. Property in an economy where we are struggling every day, we are even fighting for the basic necessities of life, when simple things are made or given to you, it is improper to, at the least provocation, destroy property. So, I mean, all of those have to be looked at. Now, we have to look at management of the institution, and that will come out in the committee's work. But you see, if some of the things that the allegations that have been said is true, then perhaps management should also look at how they have over the years been managing students. You see, the times in the 50s is not now. When I was going to school, I did not even have a mobile phone. Mm-hmm. Now, the child in the primary school goes to school sometimes with a mobile phone. Mm-hmm. At the click of a button, people can access information. Yeah. When teachers are lecturing, students are Googling to see whether they are saying the truth. You know, and they will point it out to you that, oh, sir, but Google says you are. You know, you see, so the way you manage children now has to be totally different from how you did in the past. And truly, if anyone will tell you, the children that are coming now are very sharp. It is better to engage them because they are our future. In fact, the economy that we are seeking to bring about will be transformed largely by the children. The guy who is able to generate a tech device that alone, like the Google, the YouTubes and the rest, has if you like, a turnover of almost about our entire revenue, GDP. One company. And that is what just one individual who is well placed can do. So let us all look at all of these things. The new governing council must know that they have a big responsibility on them. That responsibility of making sure that KNUST, one of the most respected universities in Africa, gets back its reputation, because this little stunt dented its reputation.
But not just KNUST. In fact, it's an issue we discussed on this same platform some time back, that when we continue to have strike actions, truncation of semesters and so on internationally, not just the reputation of that particular university is affected, but the entire education system in the country. And so if you go out there to apply for any job with a Ghanaian certificate from any Ghanaian university, the credibility will be affected. Really.
And you're absolutely right. And Ghana has always been respected. If you travel, especially to other parts of Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, a lot of Nigerians come to, especially KNUST and some of the small universities here, because of the respect.
And even now the Francophone countries are coming.
Yeah, they are coming. Yes. So we should not negotiate with that reputation at all. And so that governing council must know it has a good responsibility on it.
Yeah. Okay, look, you are an alumnus of KNUST, but were you also in Katanga?
No,
you were not that lucky.
Unity.
Okay.
No, I was in Unity, so I'm a Conti man. Yes, that is true. The issue came up. I think I had a chance to talk about it on other platforms, but not here. Finally, I would continue from where Mr. Boahin and Edwin left off. We thank God for the amicable settlement of the impasse. Last Tuesday, some of us were, the campus was as dead as a cemetery. And it is refreshing to hear a day or two after that the reopening was slated for last Friday, which was yesterday, and that is very good. But whatever transpired is a moral lesson, not an academic one. It's a moral lesson to the key stakeholders, and I think it's already been pointed out that the students should be given some amount of fair hearing. You realize they exhausted all the necessary lay down procedures to the extent that I have observed, based on my experience in management, that in some cases you see the students coming to table a particular submission. It is not it is not out of their own thinking. It is born out of consultation with some people outside, but they come to deliver, and therefore we should be giving consideration to such submissions that they could also make an input. The long and short of it is that the happening we all hope will not recur. The fusion of people into halls I've mentioned elsewhere that would only materialize if it is done spontaneously across the traditional universities like Legon, Commonwealth Hall. You look at Tech Continental and University of Katanga, and then Cape Coast, the Kelsey Hereford or the Casford Hall. If you do that concurrently, then you will succeed. But if you decide to test the waters with one, you will never get anywhere. You know, because these universities, these halls have particular annual inter-hall games among them. And if you should go and parade yourself, you will not even get there because the type of picnic that will be welcome, you will not even be able to stand it. So these are some of the reasons. And on campus, I have mentioned time again, I cannot pretend not to know. People see the university campuses as the last place to engage in some form of jamboree. Because when you come out, you are now a person that should be seen decently dressed, decently speaking, and therefore that is the last place you can put up certain behaviors before you come out. Now it shapes the lives of some people. We have many people to talk about who went through the system and are now better. It does not mean I approve of the excesses that happen in the process. I was there to interact with people, realized the students were subjected to some curfew, you know, on campus. The first time they were, and the security men were exploiting them during the curfew hours and what have you. You know, so many things went on. We hope this will be curtailed. Now, if you look at you consider the fact that the cost of damage to property is estimated at 1 million Ghana cedis. That is a huge sum. You know, it is a huge sum, and I know the entire student body will have to bear the financial brunt in the form of upward review of the facility user fee come the next academic year. That is what is going to happen. It is not the best, but once again, I hope the University Council would, in most cases, listen to the views of the students. This was started in Commonwealth Hall, but when the students raised agitations, the University Council of Legon listened and backtracked. But why this went to that extent is also sometimes as we admonish our students to do the right thing, would also humbly call on the University Council to make sure that they also consider so many factors before holding on to a particular decision. Let's look at the repercussions of some of these decisions on the entire society, not only restricted campus of either Legon, Tech, Cape Vast, or UDS, or any other one. We realize the implications were dire, not only for Tech, but for the entire nation. There are some foreign students who might also be agitated. The reopening is in order. We applaud the stakeholders for quickly putting their acts together and making sure the school continues in earnest. And we thank everyone for that.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Just before we go, some few messages. Great program. I like the entrepreneurial part, and I have designed a program to address that problem. Godwin Mauto Wankak, thank you very much. Alhassan, you say good morning to you and your viewers. The budget that presents, okay, I think you sent this one earlier. Hello, good morning. My stake is that all budgets fail on population control. Our efforts are all on social interventions when the people are poor and only giving more beds while government spends about 70% of revenue on workers. So we have to borrow while population keeps increasing and putting pressure on government and few income earners. The future of Ghana is bleak without population control. KK from Akonsombo sent that one. This person, okay, he says he wants to do online shopping, and so he's asking me to advertise for him. Unfortunately, you have to come and pay GBC. Good morning, Moomen. May the good Lord of Lords bless you and all your panelists for the good work you are doing for Mother Ghana. I'm really enjoying your program. But please let me ask, is your panelist sitting to your immediate left a PR of government? Dr. Ashley, I'm sure. Okay, so Doc, you are sitting Jimmy from Aguna, and Doc is not a member of the government. Doc is an independent economist and financial analyst.
The pronouncement may tilt in that particular way. That is what
he's here in that capacity, not okay. And somebody has really sent me a message with pictures of a very bad road. It says from Techi Samuel Eto, some roads in northern region to be constructed in 2019 budgets, but the Yendi Saboba is not part. Meanwhile, Yendi Saboba Road has become a ritual each year for the people of Saboba in the rainy season to be cut off from the rest of Ghana due to floods. President Nadado, you promised to fix Yendi Saboba Road, but there is nothing like that in your budget. We are not part. Are we not part of Ghana, or don't we pay tax? So he sent me pictures of a flooded road in that area. Hi GTV, we waste our power unnecessarily. Why? Because, for example, when you go to Navrongo, almost all the street lights are always on, even at day. Akari Clement in Navrongo sent in this one. That's another issue that probably we need to look at. Patrick from Obuasi says electricity illegal connection is 95% done by the ECG workers themselves. I was in my house one day when one electricity staff came to check whether my meter is running normal. After checking my receipt, he told me I'm paying too much. So if I can offer him 300, he will adjust the meter for me to pay less. I told him I am okay. Patrick, did you report him? I think it would have been better for you to have proceeded to an illegal connection. Illegal connections are done by ECG officials. This means most of the ECG officials are illegal consumers themselves. So most of those who work with the ECG themselves have done illegal connection and are not paying. Production team of DTV, you are not up to your tax. Okay, how can you have a host who throughout a panel's submission is just watching his phone? I see. Okay, thank you very much. But there were times I had to watch so that I could get the messages that people like you were sending in. Anyway, thank you. I thought it would have been more transparent on the part of government to split the 70% spending on public service staff and government-owned appointees, ministers, etc. Akuna, you sent in the messages are just too many for me to be able to finish reading them all. Good morning. Please, I want you to ask our leaders what the government is doing to release the land at the Ramsey site at Klagon and about the 2009 demolition of at Klagon, and asking, okay, and that's why I'm appealing to you that anytime you're sending your messages that you do so with clarity so we can understand what you mean. But on Monday, Doc will be here in the studio to do an analysis of some highlights of the budget. Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Dr. Eben Ashley. He's a financial analyst and economist, with Mr. Edwin Kusiapia, who is a legal practitioner, and of course with Mr. Tutubahin, who is a lecturer at the Methodist University College. He's also a PhD candidate. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moomen, we can't go without saying, you know, the NDC.
Oh, yes.
So we wish them well.
Yes.
I think that the interesting battle will be between Mr. Mosquito and Mr. Koko. We'll all watch to see how it pans out.
It's a very keen contest. So you wish the NDC well as well?
Yes. We wish them well. A democracy without a strong opposition is dead in itself. If you have a very buoyant opposition, not in terms of just postulations, but then practical opposition. It helps the government to get on her toes and do the right thing and deliver effectively to the people as expected. So it would be better of having a very strong opposition that would always keep the government of the day in check, so that the people would benefit economically from the voting that they line up to do at all times. So on the basis of this, collectively, Edwin has already set the pace, but I know Mr. Boyne will also agree to the fact that we wish them well.
Absolutely. Mr. Boyne.
Certainly, yes. I wish them well. We all wish them well. We pray that they will come out successful, build a very good team, give a very good opposition to the incumbent, the ruling government, and then we all work towards a better Ghana.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll see you again another time. Thank you also for being a part of the show and for making your contributions through the WhatsApp messages. We couldn't read all of them, too many of them to be read within the time that was allocated today for the text, but we really do appreciate all of you for being a part of the show. We'll see you again next week when we bring you another edition of the Big Breakfast Show. Have a very good morning.